Welcome back everyone to more content from the Sable Ave YouTube channel. Today we've got me playing Buzzwole, Lycanroc, Alolan Ninetales versus Matt and his Magcargo GX deck. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you for having me. Hello, guys.
Yes, and yes, and we what a stupid way to introduce you. And we also have on special comments Blake and Jordan. They've stuck around for more Magcargo. Welcome, boys.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Matt, heads or tails?
I'll go heads.
Heads is what the result is.
Alright, I'll go first.
Sounds good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alrighty. So, this is going to be an interesting matchup because both of these decks can blow up things. So I'm looking forward to seeing which one blows up the things first.
The player who went first was quite a big factor in the last Magcargo match that we played, so I imagine that going first this game is certainly not going to help him. Not going to hurt him, sorry.
I reckon that's probably a fair call.
I'm sure it's going to be much less relevant considering Buzzwole GX is a deck which can apply a lot of pressure early on, starting from its very first turn going seconds, as opposed to Blacephalon, which usually just takes a prize card or looks at its prize cards on the second turn.
I'll take my one, Matt.
Yep.
Alright.
So I think the risk of losing a Slugma early could prove devastating for Matt here in this matchup.
Alright.
This is very true.
Draw for turn. Good. We've got a game.
That's not a good sign.
Literally,
there, we'll
like,
sit there.
Sure.
because I know Mitch plays the card from previous matchups, he's literally one Lizier away from completely ruining Matt's board state.
Yep, just destroying the day.
There is also the chances of bad prizes ruining that play.
That is true, but you can see that when you go for the Lele, so or the Ultra Ball, or that which gets the Lele. So you should be pretty safe from doing that to yourself, unless you make a mistake and just go all in on the Lizier without checking all of that stuff beforehand.
Well, I guess that's the unique situation where you'd rather open the Lele than the Lizier, where you'd have to just play it blind.
Yeah.
Bidding the
You could also get the deck. The deck also has a lot of ways to look at its deck as well, because it has a Brooklet Hill as well, which allows you to look at your deck beforehand.
How are we doing
That's
over there, Matt? We're looking for a Slugma, I presume, here. Seeing as you've been that little, you must have something else going on.
You might grab an Orangaroo.
Fair enough.
The risk of losing a Slugma on the first turn, in the face of such scary feats, he opts to go for the Oranguru. What a man!
Instruct for one.
Yep.
And we'll pass.
Draw for turn.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I can tell you right now that the Lizier won't be happening.
Oh, but you have Beast and Diancie in hand.
Oh.
Wait, that's choice band. That's not relevant. Oh, now it's relevant. Oh my god. It's happening. That was the hardest piece to get.
Yeah. A Brooklet is
One.
fairly costly.
Or any ball card in his deck.
Also that.
It's great, Matt. I love having extra commentators because it means that we've got like hype squads in the background.
I'm hyped so long as my point is getting proved in the process of these matches being played.
Your point being that Magcargo isn't good?
And Blacephalon is better.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
I still think that Magcargo is a good card, but you need to be able to play them. So let's see if I get to kill one.
Yeah, Mitch hasn't had a deck search yet, so we're about to see where that Diancie's hiding.
Well, the fact that he got it means he's halfway there. He's living on a prayer. He's now slow rolling us.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, man.
That was a good game. Next one?
Nah, we'll play. We'll keep playing. Knockout, and we'll put 30 onto Dini.
Well, Blake, you certainly proved me wrong in saying that going
Draw.
first isn't going to hurt Matt.
Well, this is why I was
Lily for
scared
4.
of Matt
Yep.
going for the slug, the Oranguru as opposed to the second Slugma, especially if he had a draw supporter, which he's now proved to have.
Although, to
You
be
know,
fair, he
gotten.
could have got that Lily off of the Oranguru, so...
It's
I
true.
imagine that would have been the case.
And we'll pass.
Well, it's not looking good.
I hope that is the case because now Matt's one turn away from losing after this one.
Brooklet Hill?
I imagine the Victini has more than 60 HP.
It has 90,
Yeah.
so it dies to any spear damage next turn.
It's far from great.
And there's only one fire energy in the bin currently, so I don't see it taking down the Buzzwole.
Let's put that there.
This Magcargo deck might benefit from the options of tech attackers like Gladios or Deoxys.
Yeah, that's true,
Jet
actually.
Punch?
Because while we've gone for the straightforward approach in order to, maximize consistency, there's no rule that says you can't accelerate the fire energy to something else other than a Magcargo GX.
Yeah. We're certainly seeing in these games that Magcargo can very easily be overwhelmed by early
I'll
pressure.
pass.
Well, that certainly doesn't help either.
Knockout.
Cool.
That's...
Well, when Matt started the game by saying, now we have a game, that already
that was not a
showed
good
signs
sign.
of
Yeah,
trouble. Yeah.
that was not a good sign.
Whereas if Matt just starts with a Professor... whatever his consistency card is on the first turn,
Lily.
because Elm doesn't search, so it's Lily. If he starts with a Lily into a couple nest balls, then we got a ball game.
Then suddenly we playing cards.
It definitely seems like Magcargo is a deck which would really love to have that support from Elm, but just doesn't have it until a Slugma with 60 HP is printed.
Yeah. Now it has to function like Zorok decks of old, with the 4 nest ball and Apricorn and or Lily approach.
Well, back when the format was garbage.
Yeah, that last one that I refused to play.
4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we got ourselves a basic.
I presume Matt is going first again this matchup.
Yes. Alright, it's that one.
You really like to see a Lele from Mitch here. Oh, that's
Draw.
unfortunate.
It's not a Buzzwole, but Vulpix certainly isn't a bad opener. I'd say Rangaru's a bad opener, though.
Ultra Ball.
I would say so as well. But with Alolan Vulpix as the opener, I would say it's not in as much trouble
Take.
as it would previously be.
Yeah, if I had
Agreed.
the Buzzwole, it would probably be a bit better than... A bit worse, sorry. Here we go. Here's the consistency.
Alright. Go in with Nest Ball.
Yes.
So, funny thing is, I think Magcargo might be one of the decks that can make use of this Alolan Meowth card.
What does,
To
what
give
does
it something to-
Meowth do?
Alolan Meowth is a ridiculous card that allows you... it's a dark Pokemon with 60 HP, and it has an energy... it has an attack which costs no energy. It does 10 plus damage. If you go second on your first turn, this attack does 60 more damage.
I'm going to
So
Lily
you can
for
do
6.
70 on the first turn. So I would think this card in particular is going to find its way into a lot of decks which don't have anything to do going second on their first turn.
Nest Ball.
The only counter argument I'd make to that is that Meowth seems like it'd be better in decks that utilize Elm.
That is true. Especially, and also in decks where a lot of their Pokemon have just the one retreat, so that if you lead something that isn't a Alolan Meowth, you can just retreat into it without the aid of a skateboard or a Guzma,
Acrobatic.
Yeah.
which
I
this
just,
deck seems to not be.
I just realised that my fan was on that whole time.
We couldn't hear it on our end, if
You
that
couldn't hear
helps
it?
you.
Well, hopefully there hasn't been 9.5 minutes of whirring fans to put everyone on. That's alright.
Like that.
This second half of the video is going to be a lot more relaxed.
And hot.
Nestball.
Yeah, much hotter. You can tell we've got very high production values here at the Sable Eyes, and the fact that I've got 2 extra people commentating means that I'm not quite as focused as I should probably be. And you guys don't know about it, but I'm about to tell you, the first time we tried to do this set, yes, we've tried to do it twice, I didn't even have the cameras set up right. It was awful. My pictures were all wrong.
Speaking of being set up right, Matt's boards are looking a little bit healthier than it was last game.
No worries, thanks, Matt. Yeah, it does look a little bit better. Well, Brooklet Hill?
Pretty much one slug more off of being perfect.
Yep. But I think he has time based on Mitch's start this time. There's another card that people haven't really been talking about now that I'm looking at this with the set list in front of me, and like it's really good. It's a Wobbuffet, and its ability, as long as it's on your bench, each player's Prism Star Pokemon can't attack and have no abilities. And I think people have forgotten this card exists.
I do remember that now you mentioned, actually, because it reminded me of the Spiritomb that blocks Ace specs.
I was thinking more of the Giratina that blocks break abilities, but yes, that one also comes to mind. But yeah, the only reason I can see this card not seeing a lot of play is because a lot of the powerhouse Prism Star cards are becoming stadiums and not Pokemon. But as we can see here, the Ditto is a very popular choice at the moment, and Victini in Magcargo.
2 more.
What else is there? Lunala Prism in every Psychic deck ever.
There's quite a few.
Solgaleo Prism in metal decks. There are a few running around which wouldn't even be able to declare attacks. They'd just be sitting on the bench with... Oh, Diancie too. That's another good Prism Star. Thanks for popping that one down for me.
Well, here's the thing. This is a beacon. I couldn't declare the attack because you were too busy waffling, but that's alright. It's your turn, Matt.
Alright, draw for 10.
Oh my goodness. The room's become very hot and I've become very aggressive.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, don't be sorry. It's alright.
Certainly seems like Matt gets the setup advantage on the turn 1 for this game, unlike the last one.
Yeah.
Let's see if it gets him an advantage at all, because like we saw against another Ultra Beast deck last time, getting the first knockout isn't always a good thing, especially if it's on a GX Pokemon. Mish could easily respond with a Beast Ring attachment onto another Buzzwole, considering Brooklet Hill's down, and then just Absorption GX for a straight knockout with Diancie on the bench.
It will come down to how well Matt's able to build his board in the next few turns to see if he's able to respond with pressure.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good card.
Very much so.
For 2.
Another Slugma, excellent. Did he get the other?
Actually, let's try a Crash Burn. Crash Charge.
Oh!
That's it.
Ooh! Spicy!
And then we're going to Magburn GX.
Still not taking the knockout. Interesting. He could have shut down the Alolan Ninetales play for next turn, but he elected to go for the GX attack.
Do you know
I think that's an interesting play.
How many supporters I just lost there?
2 Kukuis and a Lizzie, yeah.
Yeah.
It's alright, I'm sure that won't come up. At least you didn't lose Beast Rings. Seems like you're going to need them this matchup.
Yeah, I think you might be right. We're going to Brooklet Hill. Grab myself another Buzzwole there.
We're looking pretty healthy here now on Mitch's side, though. Everything's starting to realign itself. Is that an escape board on the active?
It is an escape board. We're going to Field Blower the Choice Band and the Bodybuilding Dumbbells, please.
Ooh, nice.
And then we're going to Cynthia. Let's grab ourselves an energy here and go for broke.
Yeah, I imagine that the dumbbells is quite a big deal for Buzzwole maths. It depends. Obviously, Lycanroc can kill it regardless, but I can't see Buzzwole doing 250 realistically without wasting an Absorption GX.
Well, at that point, I don't think it's a waste. I think if you can kill a Magcargo GX, I think you'd kill a Magcargo GX, no matter what the cost is.
Oh
That's
boy.
definitely true.
Okay, so we've got an energy, and we're doing 30 damage.
50 damage.
Oh yeah, 50 with the Diancie. Magic. Beautiful
Where's the
stuff.
other 30?
We're going to put it on the Ditto Prism, please.
This is a very important 50 because now Knuckle Impact is just a straight up knockout on this particular Magcargo.
Yes. Which is quite doable, assuming that Matt takes the knockout on this Buzzwole this turn.
Which he's already got on board.
Yes.
We'll instruct for 1.
Yep.
Attach. Let's crash charge.
Sure.
Another one.
God, what,
He's
man?
blind.
Crash
That's
charge. Another one.
Okay,
What's going on?
I would like to take this time to say, this is ridiculous, and this is not going to happen ever when it's relevant.
Woo! Magcargo.
This is a perfect way to compare the worst case scenario versus the best case scenario for Magcargo's setup.
We'll Guzma out the rock ruff.
Sure.
This is what Scott bases his arguments on every time I have an argument with Scott. Like, but what if I just go ham and I get 2 fire attachments? Well, that doesn't happen, and now this has happened. So now he has video proof of it happening, and I hate.
And then we'll lava
I
flow
hate-
for the knockout.
I hate you.
To
Don't
be
you
fair,
need to
though,
discard 1, Matt?
Yes, 1.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
leave
50
that
plus.
one on there. It's alright.
To be fair though, it's not that unrealistic that Matt could have just gotten the other Magcargo and been able to guarantee it anyway. It's just that he didn't need to do that in this situation.
Beach Streak's not active, stop.
Yeah. it's
Oh
only 1.
no! That's alright.
Yeah, keep that in your hand.
Because I went in there for the Ultra Ball.
Ah, yeah, no, that makes sense.
For the Leyland.
Is that the Layla? Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought.
See? No misplays. I never misplay. It's not really hot in here at all. Shut up. Shut up.
It didn't also help that Matt hadn't taken his prize card yet.
Oh, that's alright. I should have known that Rock
It still wasn't 3 or 4.
Yeah. To be fair.
Yeah, I know, but like he might have been waiting for you to take the 2 prize cards when he
No. No, just bad.
just to slip up. That's fine. We have slip ups here.
The amount of
It is-
slip-ups that we have is directly proportional to the heat in this room. It's looking bad, so we're going to grab a Lily, which I will immediately play.
It doesn't really seem like Mitch has too many options for what to do before B-String gets triggered at this point.
Yeah, that's true. They were cut off to him by the attack on the rock ruff there. Now there's not an easy way to creatively do spread damage. Now it's
Yeah,
just going to be softening them both up for knuckle impacts and
50,
leaving open.
And then 30 onto, I don't know, Tapu Lele, I guess. Nah, put it on Magcargo. It's fine.
Spread damage doesn't hurt, but it's not super important at this point.
I would have thought to put the 30 on one of the Slugmas so that you can slowly wear down a soon-to-be Magcargo.
Yeah, that's fair. Although I figure there's knockouts.
Does it only have
on the board.
Does it only have 90?
Cynthia.
Yeah, it only has 90, so it's 3 jet punches. But I realistically don't think that's happening.
I don't see,
Yeah, I was about to say,
I
I
don't
don't
see
think
myself
that's
declaring Jet Punch again in this game.
I would
Probably
agree.
not. But it also sets it up for a Beast Energy jet punch at the end,
Fair enough.
if it were to come down to it.
Fair enough.
Whereas it's already dying to your knuckle
Place down
impact or
Heat
jet.
Factory.
Sure.
Oof, bubbles.
Use Heat Factory.
Too bad that's not Scorched Earth and
two,
doesn't benefit Mitch as
3.
well.
Yeah, those are the days. Tekken fighting energy to abuse stadiums.
Acrobike. Just got the energy.
Tell you what, Masters is looking hard for this here Magcargo, and it doesn't look like he's finding it at the moment.
Those crash charges mean that I don't really need it. And then we'll lava flow.
Bang.
Basically got the next 2 or 3 turns worth of attacks on board.
Fortunately for Mitch here, he had to ditch all of his energy on the active and has a powered up one on the bench, which means a Guzma play here is devastating for Masters. Because he loses his second Magcargo and all the energy he's had saved up at this point.
Even a Ninetales to trigger a custom catcher if Mitch is running that could be huge.
I believe he is not, due to the fact that he's running Lycanroc, and that's why I prefer Alola Ninetales with custom catcher as opposed to Lycanroc. But as you pointed out, Dangerous Rogue is a very good attack.
Guzma out the Magcargo.
Oh,
Cool.
there's the
No
card.
worries.
But luckily for him in this situation, he doesn't have to use Absorption. He's just got to weigh up whether or not it's worth using Absorption so that he can attack next turn without anything else.
We're gonna Ninetales.
Wow, that's excellent. Now he can grab more B-strings and another B-string and perhaps a way to get another Ultra Beast.
Oh boy, it's crazy out. What is going on over there? Jeez. We're gonna grab a Ultra Ball, and I reckon we're just gonna grab another Ultra Ball.
Oh, out of B-strings. That's unfortunate.
Then we're going to Ultra Ball away the energy,
And the Ultra Ball.
and the Ultra Ball. For a Buzzwole.
Or he's holding it already. That's also possible. He's got 2 energy out, so I assume he's holding it. He's holding a few, it turns out. Seems reasonable.
All
It
right.
seems like a perfectly fine turn, which has nothing wrong with it. Perfectly balanced, I would say.
Yeah, we were just talking about how good Matt's board was, but just one turn like that, and it really seems like Matt's going to struggle to come back from here.
Absorption GX.
Especially without having any of the
He's
smooth over
using
Magcargos ready
absorption.
to go.
Yes, I am, because I would really, really like to kill this Magcargo next turn.
Draw.
Well, there's that, and
Teeny?
also Dangerous Rogue probably doesn't come up because the next 4 prizes are on the board, regardless without needing Rogue for the rest
Factory.
of the game. Due to the fact that the Lele is down as well as a damaged Magcargo.
3.
However, if Matt is going to come back into this game, if Victini's able to take a knockout one of these Buzzwoles, that's certainly one of the best ways for him to have a chance back into this.
True, but once the Victini has declared its attack, if that Magcargo goes down through the effects of another Guzma, then there's no way Matt wins that game because he has no good way to get Fire Energy into the discard from there.
Definitely.
This is actually quite tight. I'm enjoying this. Like, since we're both set up.
I always enjoy it when it's tight.
Makes it more interesting. I'm going to ignore the innuendo that you left hanging there.
What innuendo?
How you doing there, Matt?
Yeah, good.
I'm just checking to make sure that you're still alive.
Matt has a very important turn to do, so I can understand why he's taking a long time.
I'm curious to know how many Fire Energy are in the discard right now.
There's enough.
That's good to know.
Enough for what? Is it 9?
Knockout. Yes.
I was going to say, but for the knockout on what? There are a few things with varying amounts of HP on the bench. So it's like, does it kill the Lele? Does it kill Diancie? Does it kill Lilanotas?
Just don't have the Guzma.
That's an important card for you to have right now.
Well, we've seen Matt play a switch. Perhaps he plays another. But he seemed disappointed enough to me to think that he doesn't.
That's not the issue. That is not the issue. The issue is
No?
getting the 2 prizes that I want to get.
Ah,
Escape rope.
he's- Ah,
Let's see.
the thing here is it's 2 attacks for Matt no matter what he promotes. So he should probably promote maybe a Lele here, not the Diancie, so that his math doesn't get screwed up for the rest of the game.
Well, I don't have any incentive to use the DNC at all.
Well, one of your prizes has to be the Lele, so it means you have to find something later on in the game. Not that it's difficult, but there's this problem here too.
Oh, does Matt have to go for a stalling option here?
I'm not sure how much Matt has done it, but I know Mitch has thinned his deck of a lot of cards, considering he played about 7 B-strings last turn.
Yeah, I just can't get down to 3 is my issue at the moment.
Trying to get the instruct.
Yeah, smooth over instruct.
Have you activated the Magcargo GX ability yet?
No.
The trouble with that is that he might thin the very card he's trying to find with Oranguru in the attempt. And it doesn't thin his hand any.
How many Guzmas have you got in discard?
3.
3 in discard. Alright.
Mitch, does the skateboard work on effects, or is it just through paralysis and sleep? Is that what a skateboard does?
I think it's just paralysis and sleep.
It's paralysis and it's sleep and paralyzed. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like through effects of attacks as well. That might have been printed on there, and we just thought it was irrelevant because no one plays the corner Rockruff anymore.
Why would it ever come up?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, this could potentially be it.
We'll smooth over.
It's not good.
Looks like he's found himself an accurate bike, so
Because
we'll see what.
I don't know how many Guzma the deck runs. I presume it's only 3.
Well, you've also got to figure out how many cards Matt has in deck as opposed to you, because that decides whether or not that strategy is viable or not.
Oh no, not dodgeball. That's silly.
This is true.
That shuffles the deck.
Yeah. I will.
I'll tell you how many
Pass.
Guzmas you play. Ah. Irrelevant. Well, still probably a little relevant. Those are the things I was worried about you finding.
One thing that Matt could have gone for there was to go for the attack of Slugma to try and prevent the escape board play on the Diancie. Because it is quite a cute play to trap the Diancie in play for 1 turn, and then guarantee, or like give yourself a second chance to find the Gizmo Buzzwole.
Yep.
Oh no.
It also depends on how many energy Matt actually has left.
Yeah, the problem with the corner strategy or the Magma Ring strategy that you worried about, Mitch, is that Magma Ring unfortunately has the disadvantage of doing damage as opposed to corner. So even if you couldn't find a way to manually retreat or attack to dissuade him, he would eventually kill you.
Yes, that's
and I'm assuming your deck has more than 9 cards.
It would, however, give him enough time to stall until he found a Guzman to take out a Buzzwole.
Absolutely. But that still might be enough.
This is true.
Considering there is 2 of them, equally scary, one's just slightly more oil slicky than the other. Mitch, the deck plays 4 Guzma.
Energy recycler.
The deck plays 4.
3, 4, 5.
Excellent.
Interesting that we're seeing the recycler here, because that gives me the thought that he might not be going for Victini anymore.
That and his deck was very thin. That also means that he can get away with doing reckless crush charges as well.
That's certainly a big advantage.
And he probably thinks the only way he's getting back into this game is with the use of Magcargo and not Victini. Which, to a certain degree, I can see, but I think he did need to take 1 knockout with the Victini.
And we'll smooth over while we're in there.
Yep.
I believe match prizes are very bad this game as well, by the way this game has gone. There hasn't been a second smooth over Magcargo, and only 1 of the GXs apart from the other one on field. So unless there's only 2 of each, which I have my doubts, I would have thought there's at least
Crash
3.
charge.
4.
Seems unlikely. Good times.
This game
Anyway.
could very easily go either way still at this point. I think whoever takes the next knockout is in a good position to close out the game.
The important thing to note here is that it's any knockout for Mitch For Matt, sorry, and it needs to be a GX for Mitch for it to be
4.
relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say realistically at this
3,
point it's just a race to
4.
see who gets Guzma.
Yep. Guzma ends the game one way or the other.
Touch.
Actually, no, probably only one way. I think if Mitch gets Guzma, the game is most certainly over.
Dumbbells. And we'll magma ring.
Thanks to
No
dumbbells, that
worries.
extra sniper from Magcargo you were talking about before actually might come up.
How much health does it have at the moment? It has 80 on it, right?
80.
Damage.
Yep.
It's 250 minus 80. Is that less than 190? I presume it is.
It is.
It is.
Let's kill it.
That's a big deal.
Yep.
If you hadn't put that extra snipe on the Magcargo like we were mentioning before, that wouldn't have been enough.
Nope. It was still enough.
Oh no, it was because Diancie survived, correct.
Brooklet Hill, so
Even
get rid
without
of the
Jancy.
Heat Factory.
Even without Dancy, the damage was irrelevant.
And then we'll Knuckle Impact for Knockout.
Interestingly enough, I haven't seen a rescue stretcher from Matt the whole set so far. Would have thought it would have been a very important card, but maybe I just haven't seen it when he has played it.
Does Matt have a chance to win from here now?
I see only one line of play.
Yeah, me too. Taking a
Whether or
knockout
not-
with that Slugma.
Whether or not Matt has the resources to pull off that strategy is a very different. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Not
Kukui.
Yep.
1, 2.
Well, he definitely hit a fire energy just then.
Is the Magcargo is it in deck?
I stuffed up. Should have smoothed over. Yep, that's it.
That's it.
What did you need to smooth over for there?
The rescue stretcher.
Right.
Then
That's
I
a
could have got
card.
the knockout.
Got knockout. Mitch
So-
was out of goose.
So
he
I
was
had in
Yeah.
hand I had the Beast Energy and a Lele. So I would have been doing what?
For the 5th Guzma.
No, I wasn't gonna Guzma. He was gonna kill it. He was gonna kill it with the Magcargo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would
Beast
Beast
Energy
Energy, which would get me to what? 160, 190, 220, 240, and then yeah, I've got a Kukui in here as well. So if
Yeah.
I needed to do 250,
Yeah,
I
missing,
could have got
missing
there.
the Guzma for the Victini knockout was where I lost it there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a big turn.
You had a couple turns to find it thanks to the Guzma on the escape rope for the Diancie.
That's a very useful tool to have in the deck, I will say.
For sure. But hey, I reckon there's still room to improve with Magcargo. It's definitely a deck that we can look forward to seeing more from. Whether or not we see it at the top tiers or not is another question. But anyway, thanks very much, Matt, for playing again.
No worries.
And thank you to Blake and Jordan for their expert commentary watching over the top of us.
No
It was
problem.
a pleasure.
Thanks very much, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying. If you are, then let's give us a little comment. Just say hey, you know, thanks for being top blokes out there. Anyway, we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
On Training Center.
On Training Center. Goodbye.